Hi, let's see how to install Windows 10 in all the laptops. So I have taken the USB bootable pen drive. I just made it, and now it's plugged in. Just just loading from. Now the device is booting from the pen drive. All right. Now what you need to do is just select your language. I go with United States, or you can also choose. But now I'll just go with the United States. Click on install. Now I'm not going to enter the product key, so I'll say I don't have a product key. I'm going with Windows Pro and for workstations because my brother wants to work on some Photoshop and all those things, so I just choose that. Now in new volume we have some data, important data, so we are going with the unallocated space, which will be sufficient. You can just create new, or you can click on next. It will automatically create some space for, if you click on just new, to ensure that all the features work correctly, all the Windows features work correctly. Windows might create additional partitions for a system file. Just say okay, it will create additional partition with the small memory, see like 50 MB, some cases it will be 300, 500, like that. So I'm just going ahead with the now partition 3, which has 99 GB. If I click on small amount, it cannot be installed. The detail shows the partition is too small. In this type of old, this is Acer Aspire 4739Z. When you are trying to install OS, sometimes you will face like you cannot install. Even if there is more memory, you will not be able to install. The reason is there is a driver missing, so you can click on the load driver and install with the some drivers. Maybe I can make another video and show you what driver it is. It is actually USB 3.0 driver which we need to install, and also it's a SATA recognizable drive. That's what is missing actually. From this USB to the hard disk, there should be a connection which will be taken care by a driver, which is missing, so it won't work. But after a clean uh, partition, after cleaning the hard disk, we will be able to do that. That's always risky because we may lose data. Click on next to install. You might have seen this device in my previous video. We have upgraded this to 4 GB RAM and Wi-Fi and all that. Also upgraded the processor from Intel Pentium to i5 for the sake of video. Now again it is rolled back to the original processor Intel Pentium. Sorry. So once the copying Windows files is done, the files are getting ready for the installation, then installing features, then updating and finishing up. So let's wait for this to go ahead. So once the 100% is done, it undergoes installing. So the installation process is running, as you can see at the bottom. Installing Windows. It's a feedback panel. Installing update is also done. Moving on to the final step, finishing up. So it will restart. At this point we can actually pull out the USB, otherwise it will boot from the USB again. So whatever it has copied, with that it is now booting up. As you can see, the USB in my hand, bootable USB. Yeah, since the keyboard is non-functional, has some error, I'm going ahead with the external keyboard for any input. After connecting the keyboard, make sure whether it is working or not by just click on caps. When you click on caps, if the light glows, then the keyboard is successfully connected and it's working. Starting services. During the installation, your fan may spin at high speed and it may produce noise. Don't panic, it's all normal. So it has come to the selection of region. You can choose India. You have to scroll. Just by typing I, we will not be able to. Choose India and keyboard layout. Again, it's India English. Choose that. Give yes. I'm going to skip this. So now I'll say I'm not going to connect to this Wi-Fi. I'm gonna say I don't have internet. Continue with limited setup. If you have internet, you can just connect to, then it will ask your Microsoft ID and just go ahead. Who's going to use this PC? You can just accept. If you want, you can go through the terms and conditions. Cortana, well, not now. Oh, it just popped up. So we have the Windows 10 installed. Yeah. So now we can just go ahead and start installing the needed drivers. First check what all drivers we have. So before that, let's see what system is this. So Intel Pentium. Yeah, down the line, Windows 10 Pro and 4 workstations. Let me type device manager. It's a 64-bit operating system. So device manager is open. Now check for display. It's Microsoft basic display adapter. We need to update it. And PCI communication controller is also there. Need to update. Okay. So in order to update the thing, we shall connect to the Wi-Fi. Connected. Go back to display adapter. Click on. Right click. Click on update. Okay, go to Windows. Most of the cases it gets updated, otherwise you can check for updates and update all other drivers. So okay, if you have any doubts on installing devices, any difficulties you have, comment in you know, and I'll try to help you out. Thank you for watching.